The NBA Finals are officially over, guys. The Warriors closed it out on the road 103-90, which I will say, this was probably the worst game of the series. The Warriors kind of just ran away with the entire game, but it still was like a competitive game. At some points, there was runs from both sides. It was a very fun game to watch, even though it was a 13-point win. And shout out to Steph Curry, Finals MVP, something pretty much the last check mark off of his list that he needed to do to solidify himself as probably a top 10 player of all time. I will do a top 10 player of all time video for you guys. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel, like the video, so you guys can get recommended by YouTube for that video. I'm going to do a top 10 all time. There's some very interesting takes that I feel like the top 10, at least the bottom 5, like the top 5 are pretty much solidified, but like the bottom 5 can change a lot. So, but anyways, Steph Curry, congratulations. Always has been a class act. I will say I did have a conversation with one of my Warriors fans buddies, and he doesn't believe that Steph Curry's cocky. I think Steph Curry is very cocky. I think Steph Curry's a great guy. I think Steph Curry is an awesome teammate, but he is cocky. Like, he goes around celebrating all day. If anyone else does that in the league, I think he just has that resume where people just don't really care. They know it's like out of fun, but he is a cocky player. But that's a completely different take. I just want to say congratulations to the Warriors. As a Suns fan, I thought one of us two were winning it from the beginning of the year. So, unfortunately, we did not get to see that Western Conference Finals that we were hoping for. But let's break down this game a little bit. So, Draymond Green actually had his most points of probably the last two series with 12 points. He was plus 16 on the court, which was a huge deal. He actually made 2 3-pointers too, which was, both of them came off of like big runs for the Celtics that kind of stopped their runs. So it was kind of a big deal in game-changing moments where the Celtics were climbing back into the game and Draymond actually hit some nice shots. We saw Otto Porter Jr. in the starting lineup again today. Very interesting. Him and Looney. He played 13 minutes on Otto Porter and Looney played 22. Looney actually had 0 points. He missed a layup at one point where I was like, dude, you're 6'9", just dunk it. And it was wide open. So it was weird. Andrew Wiggins. My goodness, dude. Like, where did this Andrew Wiggins come from? I understand he was an all-star this year. And we understand that he is an up-and-down player with all the talent in the world. But this entire series, he played some of the best defense we have ever seen on Jason Tatum. And that's saying a lot because people are in the arguments of saying Jason Tatum is a top 5 player in the league, which I will 100% disagree with. And that's before this series and before this season is even going, or the playoffs even started. So, completely disagree with that. But he is probably a top 10 player in the league, top 15, if you want to really get down into the nitty gritty. But great series from Wiggins. Tonight, he had another 4 steals, 18 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. Dude played 44 minutes and just got it done. Steph Curry dropped 34, which I think I already mentioned. And then Klay Thompson had 12, went 2 for 8 from 3 and 5 for 20. So a pretty bad game for Klay. And I bet you a lot of people lost money tonight just betting that Game 6 Klay was going to show up because it always has. Hi, Toby. Coming off the bench, though, we actually had some really good minutes from Gary Payton again. He had 3 steals. I'm pretty sure he would lead the league in steals just like his dad did if he got the minutes. So I'm interested to see if they re-sign him or what they end up doing with Gary Payton because he's legit on defense. Like, very good. And then Jordan Poole came in hot early in the game. He actually ended up having only a solid game. He scored 15 points, but the dude hit, what was it, like 5 of his first 7 shots or something, and then he didn't miss. I mean, he missed every other shot, the next 5 shots. So, solid game from Jordan Poole. Great season for him. Do not know how he did not get most improved player. Somehow John Morant got that this year. But let's talk to Celtics a little bit here. What happened to the Celtics in tonight's game where they weren't just able to get it going? First off, like I said earlier, Jason Tatum's the number one thing. Jason Tatum dropped 13 points, went 6 of 18, and had 7 assists, which he did have a lot of assists in this series and just the playoffs in general, but only 3 rebounds. He's an 8 rebound a night guy. So I don't know if he was just in his head or whatnot, but it looked like it. It looked like he was trying to do too much. This team needs someone that can dribble the ball because Marcus Smart isn't good at dribbling. Jaylen Brown sucks at dribbling, and they just turn the ball over way too often. 5 turnovers from Tatum, 5 turnovers from 5 from Jaylen Brown, and then 3 from Marcus Smart. Al Horford tried to carry the team tonight. The dude went 4 or 5 from 3, scored 19 points, and obviously Jaylen Brown was the real carry, but like Al Horford was trying to get him into the game at the end, and he was just draining threes. I love it. Big Al played so good in this series, man. It was so fun to watch him, and he looked like prime Al Horford. We all know when he first came in the league, he was like a name, and then just over the time, he's just kind of disappeared, and it's good to see him like get it back together. Robert Williams played 33 minutes. Didn't really do too much. He had 7 rebounds, 10 points. Marcus Smart shot less than he has which was kind of what I was hoping he would do. I think he's been shooting too much in the finals, and he went 4 for 12 for 9 points. He was actually +7 when he was on the court, so not terrible minutes. He had 9 assists. And then Jaylen Brown played just about every minute at 44 minutes, and he scored 34. Once again, Jaylen Brown is the best player on the Celtics, and I will take that to the grave. He is better than Jason Tatum. He understands his game more. Yes, Jason Tatum is a great scorer, but he is a streaky scorer. He'll go out and get you 50, and then he'll go drop 13 like he did tonight. So he just went through a bad streak in this series. It's kind of similar to Devin Booker in that way as a Suns fan, where you can just see some magic some nights and then disasters another, but I think Booker knows his game. I think Jason Tatum doesn't know his game yet. I think he's kind of in that awkward spot where like he's a big at power forward, but he plays like as a guard. It's weird. I don't know. He is technically a small forward, I guess, but like he's a power forward at the end of the day. He's 6'8" and gets like 8 rebounds a game. So off the bench, they didn't have anything. They had 5 total points off the bench, and that is not going to get you anything, especially when you got Derek White giving you a -26 on the court, Pritchard a -20, and now Grant Williams a -18. So realistically, the starters actually did decent for the Celtics tonight when they were on the court. But man, that bench play was terrible. But congratulations to the Warriors once again, guys. That is going to be the end of the NBA season. I'm going to do some NBA offseason stuff. I'm going to be doing some baseball stuff now that we're getting into like the heat of baseball. I'm a huge baseball fan. We'll be doing some football, kind of anything in sports on this channel. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. If you guys do, just remember, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys later. The 2022 NBA champions are the Golden State Warriors. Let me just stab myself in the heart for the Suns. Love you guys. Peace.